Hey guys, Robbie here from CrossFit South Bend. Today I'm here with Coach Amy, and we are going to be doing a video talking about what Amy eats.
Oh, what Amy eats. Cookies here.
Yeah.
Dip.
We just did an Amy's Street Corner, so we got lots of sugar-laden goods. So we like to do these videos just to give you guys a sense of what each coach eats and how they fit healthy eating into their lives. So,
all right.
Amy, tell us first, how did you eat growing up? Like, what was eating like with your family growing up?
Boy, let's see. Well, I loved cereal. Honestly, I'm a cereal junkie, and today I still am. I would eat it breakfast, lunch, dinner, honestly, snack in between. I love cereal. So my mom never restricted me really. If I got home, I was involved in tap, jazz, ballet, even active really all since I was a little girl, cheerleading, different things, gymnastics. And I think when I came home, if I ate something, it was, cereal, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because I love it.
That's
Chocolate
okay.
milk,
Yeah.
not white milk, only if it was in cereal. I have to tell you, my favorite cereal, one of them was King Vitamin. Probably don't know about it. And the other one was called Rainbow Bright. So if anybody remembers the doll, Rainbow Bright, she had a cereal back in the late 70s, early 80s, maybe early 80s, I think, but it was really good. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles still up there.
They're pretty delicious. They're pretty awesome.
I like the sugary cereals, I do. But I like, not so sugary stuff too. It just depends.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm known for sugar.
So we'll talk in just a second about what you're eating now, but tell us about when you first started thinking about eating healthy to now, just kind of that journey from when you first thought of the concept of eating healthy to now. Like, how did that progression go?
Progression go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the oldest of our coaches, so I might take a little more time. But no, honestly, like I said, from early on, even though I might have had some unhealthy treats, my mom would really pack a good lunch. I always have fruit or something. And yes, I love my mom. Ever since I was a little girl, she packed my lunch, put a note in it, even in high school. She'd, those egg rolls, and she'd do barbecue ham sandwich. She'd actually fry it up in the morning. My mom got up at 4 in the morning, made my brother and I's lunch. So we have barbecue ham sandwich usually, could be peanut butter and jelly, but usually a turkey or a lunch meat, something like that. Chips or pretzels was my go-to. I like pretzels a lot. Yogurt, I like yogurt. Little Debbie Snacks zebra cakes. They don't make them as good as they used to, but zebra cakes are really good. Fruit roll-ups, all natural fruit roll-ups. Actually, back in the day, at a store called Price Chopper, they had these big circle, and they're really good natural fruit roll-ups. So as much as I tried to eat lunches, that's kind of what it was. Dinners, eating even healthy, pretty much growing up. Tacos, spaghetti. I think your normal foods that parents would make, for kids. Pizza every once in a while, macaroni and cheese. Did not like Kraft, but like Velveeta. My mom make a Velveeta macaroni and cheese. The other things, I think then moving on towards college, and college food, try to eat as good as you can in college. Right. A lot of salad bars, chicken nuggets. I didn't starve myself, let's say that.
Yeah.
But I never was, I would say fortunate. I never was a person that had to deal with being overweight or obese. I think the time I felt like that as I entered into being a mom and then going into marriage and being a mom. And I had always told myself I never wanted to be a heavy wife, a heavy mom. And so whether it started way back when, I really focused on trying to eat good foods. So, just a good protein, a good carb source and fats, but didn't know those different macros. Right. I had no clue about macros until I came to CrossFit South Bend and really started learning what really good foods were. I had wished that with my children that I fed them avocados. My mom didn't give me avocados, so I didn't eat them. I never liked peas and never liked mushrooms and eggs. I love you all, but if you have me over, I will tell you, if you put mushrooms, eggs, or peas in front of me, I will not eat them. So I try to be very respectful, but I do love to cook for myself, too. My mom was very busy. She worked all the time, so my dad worked, and my brother and I, actually, we did a lot of cooking and baking. My brother is an excellent cook out there today, and baker as well, and I probably, one of the things I love doing Treat Corner, I love experimenting with food. And so when I came to CrossFit and just the natural healthier food options, just realizing how good avocados were for you, for that natural fat. Different ways preparing chicken and pork and hamburger and ground turkey. That was the thing I really put in our mainstay diet, I think, when before I found the gym. But adding ground turkey to hamburger, you know, if you don't like turkey, ground turkey flavor taste. Limiting bacon, but I do love my bacon still. I'm trying to, I mean, it's kind of, you know, I changed a lot of, I want to say I changed a lot, but I maybe opened my palate more to some other sources of good eating.
Yeah, and always, it sounds like you always had that foundation of like home cooking and like knowing how to cook and liking to cook and
yes.
stuff like that. So
and
that's a big
fun.
part of things.
You're right. And my mom, she actually didn't like to cook, but she cooked, when she did, she cooked well. Yeah. And I just absolutely loved it. Spaghetti, my mom, my dad made this recipe called pasta, and it was one of our favorite, Italian sausage and meatballs, and making them from scratch with noodles, and fish, love fish and fried potatoes and onions. During the summer, couldn't wait to go fishing at the lake. Bass, bluegill, perch, walleye, you know, all this good foods too. And yeah, I do love the foundation of just being able to throw something together and cook it myself. I really like.
Yeah. So tell us about what you're eating now.
All right, so I kind of joked that I needed to have this big plate from like Elf with noodles and Cocoa Pebbles. You guys, I'll be real. I mean, my downfall is sugar, and if you put a cinnamon roll in front of me versus a steak, I will take that cinnamon roll any day over a steak. So, but I will show you kind of what I do. I meal prep on Sundays is when I try to do it, and especially when I wanted to be more of a competitive athlete, I started dividing out those macros, the protein, carbs, and fat. I go through spurts just like anybody else. I'm on the bandwagon, we'll do it, and then other days I'm like, forget it, I don't want to do it for a while. Because you can get burnout. For me, I can get burnout. So yes, here's my refrigerator. It's kind of barren a little bit, but I got the staples of different things, but I will pull out some of my foods here. How about I pull them out, and Ravi, you can take off the lids, and then kind of show people. Usually take, oh, and there's Oakley. Yep, hi Oakley. She knows I'm getting food out. That's my puppy. If you see her at the gym, you know she's gotten very big here. A couple more. Like I said, I do meal prep. All right. I find I like to be organized too. I keep things kind of organized. So thanks, Robbie. All right. So usually you can ask my family what I'm doing on Sunday after church. Usually grocery store shopping. I come home and I'll be cooking for 3-4 hours. That's not painstaking to me, I will admit, because I love to cook and I love to try new things. And when I'm in a rush, that's the hard part. So when I'm in a rush, I will get 2 or 3 crock pots out here at one time. Today, this morning, before I left for the gym to do a training session, I put pork loin in a big crock pot here. I put my sweet potatoes in another crock pot. So I had 2 crock pots going, and then when I got home, actually my wonderful husband put out some chicken I had, and he grilled it out there. So we had some grilled chicken for lunch, and then I used the leftovers for things. And then I was at the stove making some ground hamburger, or you can add the turkey with that, and that's about 3 pounds there. I do cook it in bulk, so I have enough at least for through like Wednesday or Thursday. And then my veggies, and get our carbs in here. Veggies, I will take a big baking sheet and then just cut up some vegetables or anything. I want broccoli, I've done green beans, I put them on a pan and then roast them there in the oven. That's kind of how I like to do my vegetables. And then I'll do a big thing. Oh wait! Sorry! Dog! She's Andy. So, and then I had a big thing of rice in my rice cooker here. So one of the meals now, I just kind of like, we'll put this all together. So I like to do a hamburger over here and then add my peppers and onions is what I did there, and rice. And then I'll put this with lettuce and do a big taco salad. Add avocados to it for a good fat. I also like sour cream and salsa. So Mexican food is my favorite. so you know.
Yeah.
That's a very good staple. Pork loin and sweet potatoes. I just grab a big like spring mix of salad, cucumbers, and then I'll take that to the gym. I'll pack all this up. That's why it's packed this way, because I just bring it to the gym because I'm here most of the time.
Yeah.
And then just cut up and make myself a big salad. So I got my protein, carbs, and a good salad. Add olive oil. I put real butter in it, so there's a good fat in there for that already. And I put these dredged in olive oil, so that's another good fat. And then for the grilled chicken, I took for my veggie those zucchini noodles or squash noodles, and then added an organic spaghetti sauce, topped it with my grilled chicken, and I like Parmesan cheese a lot, so I just did a little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. And there's some great meals throughout the week already for me here. And then I've got grilled chicken and whatever I want, chicken salad if I want to make that with some nuts and different things like that.
It all looks really delicious. It's giving me some meal ideas. Yeah,
oh, good.
Fantastic. So
for breakfast, that would probably be like Kodiak cakes sometimes, or an RX bar, honestly, at the gym, because coaching early in the morning and getting up around 4:15, I'm pretty hungry, ready for lunch around 8 o'clock already. So.
Yeah. So one of the things we like to do in these videos, you know, with Andrew, we talked about the fact that he was a student, and with Chad, talked about the fact that he was a firefighter, and with Carl, the fact that he was a rugby coach and rugby player. So, you know, your mom, you had a full-time job while you were training, and now you're a full-time trainer at the gym. What are some tips or tricks or just things you learned while doing all those different things about how to get healthy food in?
That is a good question. I would say, and I learned this being at the gym, if I can do meal prepping to get healthy food in, if I can take one day, even if you start out at, you know, you're gonna give yourself 1 hour and cook bulk, you know, food, then divide that up. You know, that was definitely a trick or a tip. And then just dividing these containers, if you already have a meal divided up for you, how easy is that? Just to take it with you and there you go. If you have certain macros or something you're following, do 1, 2, 3, 4, put it on your meals, and there you go. But definitely the biggest thing for me is just meal prepping.
Yeah.
You have to if you have a busy schedule.
Yeah.
If you don't make it a priority, it'll never happen.
Right.
And then you get stressed, and I've been there before of like, hey, takeout, and then we find we've done takeout 5 days in a row, you know,
Right.
and that's not what I want to do.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
definitely meal prepping.
So now the favorite part of all of these videos, but especially your video, let's talk about nutritional off-roading. So give me like your top, I don't know, 2 to 3, like, oh my God, I don't care about nutrition, I don't care about health anymore. What are your top 3, like, completely off-plan foods?
Completely off-plan food. All right. If anybody...
We can extend it to 5 to 10. We can...
No. Okay, well, like I said, I do love cinnamon rolls. So if anybody out there has a good place you know of a ooey gooey cinnamon roll, I want to know it. I don't like a lot of bread, but I'm bound to make myself one. I do love cinnamon rolls. The other thing I love is Bananas Foster Waffles. Le Peep used to, when they were Le Peep, have the best one around that I've had. I usually will try them around places, different places. But that, I love Bananas Foster. Pretty much anything, I just love Bananas Foster. It's, if you don't know what it is, bananas with caramel. They caramelize bananas and sugar with brown sugar, and so the sugars all come out, and you put a caramel over ice cream. There's Bananas Foster dessert waffles, different things like that. As far as, yeah, I used to love ice cream growing up. I still like ice cream a lot, but my grandfather did invent the bomb pop, and so we had ice cream constantly because he worked for an ice cream plant, and so I do love ice cream. I like froyo a lot, kind of off-roading a little bit, but it definitely has to be a sweet for me. Any good baked, a good bakery of a cookie, like these cookies Meg made here. Honestly, that's probably me, you know, definitely a sweet treat.
And I guess the last thing is, you know, we talked a little bit about meal prepping before, but we always like to ask people if you could go back and talk to yourself, you know, years ago, and kind of, if you could talk to someone in a similar situation, someone who's a mom or someone who's scared of CrossFit or someone who's working a certain job and they want to start to get into this stuff, what advice do you have for that person to, you know, maybe start to eat healthy?
Well, if you're anything like me and love sugar, I just really would have known the effects different food had on you.
Yeah.
And maybe not taking, I tried doing the vitamin thing to replace food, but that's still never going to replace whole food. Right. Vitamins aren't. It truly is a supplement, you know? And I wish I would have known more about cooking and, like I said, the variety of foods you can eat and the health benefits from that, and taking away the sugar. Right. But I would have to say, because that's my thing, and as you know, it's really hard to give up. You know, Robbie challenged me with this one time, and anybody who has an addiction out there, it's hard, and sugar is and everything. Reading the labels more. You taught me how to read the labels. You know, that first ingredient is what's in it the most, and I will pick up and read labels every time I go to the grocery store now. Just trying to. The other good tip I think you've always said is, if your great-great-grandparents didn't make it, grow it, kill it, whatever, you probably shouldn't be eating it either. And to me, that's a really good tip. And, you know, besides my off-roading, I want to try to stay to those whole foods. And I wish I would have known a little bit more about the benefits of different foods and what it can do for me. So, especially with my kids being little, I wish I would have made them eat avocados. You know, because they're not bad. Honestly, they're wonderful. And but my daughter, I would have to say, since coming to the gym and making foods different things than the normal staples a lot of people do, my kids are actually trying things and they actually like it, and so that's good.
That's awesome. All right, Amy, well, thank you so much for showing us all this stuff today. It looks fantastic. I might have to go home and try some of these, try some of these meals. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.